Hey, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to be talking about sun salutation B. Now, there are three different sun salutations. There's sun salutation C, which we'll cover in the Going Deeper videos because it's not really essential to know before you walk into any yoga class. There's sun salutation A, which we've covered extensively in other videos. And then there's sun salutation B. Typically, sun salutation B comes after sun salutation A because it is a little bit more intense. There are a lot of elements in sun salutation B that are exactly the same. So we still fold forward. We still step, float, hop, whatever, back to chaturanga. We still go through whatever modifications we need to do there. There are three different elements, though, in sun salutation B. First, chair pose, Utkatasana. We'll work on that in just a few minutes. Also, tail of the dog or three-legged dog where you lift up one leg. There are a few things to consider there. And crescent lunge or Ashtachandrasana, I think is what it's called. And we will also work on that one, but we're going to focus more on crescent pose in a completely different video. Chair pose and tail of the dog we'll cover pretty extensively in this video in particular because they really don't come up as much outside of sun salutation B. Typically, sun salutation B is what initiates the posture. A quick note for you yoga nerds, sun salutation B traditionally includes warrior one. I don't teach warrior one. I don't do warrior one typically because it puts way too much pressure on your knees. And we'll cover warrior one in a different video. But typically, my sun salutation Bs and the sun salutation Bs where we work on different sequencing, if you're in my classes or if you're a part of the Going Deeper videos where you're actually going through and we're doing full sequences, we will be doing sun salutation B with crescent lunge, not warrior one. So that is why we're including crescent lunge here. So it's not the classical way. It's not the way it was done 3,000 or 5,000 years ago, really about 60 years ago, when the sun salutations first came out. So sun salutation B will typically start with your feet together. We move into chair pose, Utkatasana. There's two different ways to work on chair. First, it's very much like Tadasana. You can either have your feet hip distance apart, or you can have your feet hip distance apart, or you can have your feet together. Now I'm going to stand and face the camera here to start this, or to face this camera to start this one out. So when we start to move into chair pose, go ahead and bring your hands onto your hips and bend into the knees. So as you bend into the knees, take a look down at your toes. Can you still see your toes past your knees? A lot of people will start to lean that weight way forward. So we want to bring the weight a little bit more into the heels and shift the weight slightly back so that way you can see your toes past your knees. Now sit a little bit deeper in your chair. As you sit in your chair, some of you are going to keep your hands together, keep your hands on your hips. Some of you will bring your hands together at heart center. Now, if your lower back will allow you, you can reach the fingertips forward, or you can reach the arms up overhead. If you reach the arms up overhead, though, try to have it so the biceps frame the ears. You turn those pinkies a little bit more in, the thumbs a little bit more out. And as you turn the pinkies in and the thumbs out, notice that the tendency for many of us is to have that chest collapse. So instead, we want that chest lifted. Keep reaching that chest forward. Draw the shoulders down and back. Sit a little bit deeper in your chair. Take one more inhale here, and then as you exhale, fold forward. Straighten the legs, hinge at the hips, bend at the knees, bring the fingertips onto the floor, just like we do in sun salutation A. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, reach that chest forward. As you exhale, plant the hands, step back, chaturanga of your choice. Maybe you lower to the floor, maybe not. You can do whatever modifications you normally do here. Inhale, upward facing dog cobra or low cobra, and then as you exhale, you move into downward facing dog. So very similar to sun salutation A. Here's the difference. On your next inhale, reach that right leg up and back. So as you reach that right leg up and back, what tends to happen is people will reach that right leg up and they'll open up that right hip. What we want to do instead is square the hip, turn that right toe straight down. In fact, work that right toe a little bit more to the left. So point towards the floor with your right toe. Keep pressing the chest back towards that left thigh. Really press back through that right heel. Relax the left calf. Get a nice stretch through the left leg. Now, to make it easier to step through, on your next inhale, come high up onto the ball of your left foot, bend that right knee, shift the shoulders over the wrists, right knee comes to the chest, and then step your right foot forward next to your right thumb. So from here, your right knee is directly on top of your left ankle. Now look at my left foot. Stack that left heel directly on top of the ball of the left foot. And we'll cover this in more detail when we go through crescent lunge in its own video. Then bringing the hands out of the hips as you inhale, press that right leg straight. Now as you press that right leg straight, you'll probably wobble. Most of us do. I'm wobbling a little bit right now. So as you keep that chest lifted, bend into that right knee. Now, if balance is a challenge for you, you can take that right foot and walk it out to the right just a little bit more.
If balance is easy for you and you want to try a little bit more intensity, you can bring that right foot over to the left a little bit and try to bring your right heel in line with that left foot. As you press back through that left heel, keeping that left leg straight, try to keep this right knee at 90 degrees. Now, what you want to try to avoid, and what a lot of folks do, is when we move into crescent lunge, what you'll do is that right knee will come past the ankle. We really want to avoid that. It puts way too much pressure onto that right knee. So instead, you keep that right knee on top of the ankle, and then you modify from here. So if you need a little bit less intensity, you bring that left foot in just a little bit. This is a perfectly acceptable crescent lunge. With the knee, your knee is still over the ankle, and that leg is slightly bent. Now, you could also work into more intensity where you go to 90 degrees. It's really your choice. And then squaring the hips, lift the chest, bring the hands by the sides, turn the palms out, reach the arms up overhead. You're in crescent lunge. Turn those pinkies in, the thumbs out. Maximize the external rotation of the shoulders. Draw the shoulders down and back. Take one more inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, hands come down. Plant those hands. Right foot steps back. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back this time. Square the hips. Relax the shoulders. Keep breathing. Press back through that left heel. On your next inhale, come high up onto the ball of your right foot. And then as you exhale, bend that left knee, shoulders come over the wrists. Step your left foot forward next to your left thumb. With the left knee on top of the left ankle, the hands onto the hips. As you inhale, press that left leg straight. Lifting the chest, relax the shoulders. Bend into that left knee. Squaring the hips. Press back through that right heel. Stack the right heel on top of the ball of the right foot. Make whatever adjustments you need to make for it with your feet. And then stay here and breathe, or bring the hands by the sides, turn the palms out, and reach the arms up overhead. You could stay right here and keep the arms up overhead. If this is too intense, you can bring the hands together at heart center, or keep the hands onto the hips. It's really your choice. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring the hands down, plant your palms. Left foot steps back. Chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra or low cobra, your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now as you inhale, come high up on the tiptoes, look forward in between the thumbs. Exhale, bend the knees, empty of air. Step, hop, or walk your feet forward in between your hands. Inhale, back to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse this. Actually, no. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, stand tall. Hands come together at heart center. Let's go through it again. Inhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back, bend the elbows, lower down. Inhale, up dog, cobra or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot forward next to your right thumb. Inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down, plant the palms, right foot steps back, chaturanga, bend your elbows. Inhale, up dog, cobra or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step your left foot forward next to your left thumb. Inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky, crescent lunge. Exhale, bring those hands down, plant the palms, left foot steps back, chaturanga, bend the elbows, or skip it and go right to downward facing dog. Inhale, up dog, cobra or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, high up on toes, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, empty of air, step, hop, or walk your feet forward in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees, reach the fingertips to the sky. As you exhale, stand tall. Bring the hands together at heart center. A few more notes about chair pose, Utkatasana. We went over with the knees bent. You can keep the hands together at heart center. You can reach the arms up overhead. You can reach the hands in front of you. Here's what I want you to try to avoid. What a lot of people do is they'll reach their arms over their head, and their chair pose will look like this, pointing towards the floor. Make it more important to have that chest lifted than anything else. Weights in the heel, chest is lifted, shoulders drawing down the back. Another thing to keep in mind is that what a lot of folks tend to do is they arch their spine. So we want that pelvic neutrality. We want a neutral pelvis, just like we worked at with Tadasana. We want to find a nice neutral pelvis to keep the natural curvature in the low back with that chest lifted and the arms reaching overhead. So that was Sun Salutation B. It's a more intense sun salutation. You might want to go through this a few different times just to make sure you have a good feel for it and watch it back. Again, I'm going to go through crescent lunge in a different video. I'm also going to show you different modifications that you can do with blocks for sun salutation B in a different video. I just wanted to get you a good idea of what an unmodified version of sun salutation B would look like. Thanks for watching.